If Dungeon Master Doom remembers correctly, this is part 6 of the Pathfinder boxed adventure, as I'm going through the adventure before I run the game. Dungeon Master Doom is very tired, but making these videos is lots of fun. And the RPG community on YouTube is fantastic. It's so awesome. I can't believe I made it past 2 videos. I just kept going and making videos. It's all about having fun, making videos, and sharing them with the few people who have subscribed to the channel, which astounds Dungeon Master Doom greatly. So thank you. It's really brightened my day. In my other ways, Dungeon of Doom! Alright, so now, in this part of the dungeon, the players will start fighting opponents, which will require skill and tactics. And the way this adventure is designed is the difficulty level of the creatures. As long as you go down this path and fight the spider, then there's a reef claw, and then there's a horde of spiders, and then finally the dragon. But it's possible that they don't go on this course. But the goblins will tell them that the cursed ring that they won't call it a cursed ring. I'll call it the Ring of Malachor. That'd be perfect. A goblin went to the widow. The widow's past the room of fire. And the room of fire is the trap that the goblins couldn't figure out. So, and depending on how they deal with this trap, could have consequences on how they fight the spider. Another thing to keep in mind is, what if they go around? They will suffer serious damage. And if they don't kill the spider in this area, and they decide to rest, the spider might waken them. And even though the adventure says it's okay and safe to rest, and even if they have a treaty with the goblins, I will have the goblins loot them. And then the goblins would be blackmailing them to kill the dragon. So that would be cool. Okay, so the game is set up to where we have a stone door and an empty passage on the other side of the spider room. They have the spider placed here, and the cocoon of the goblin next to him. And then they have spider webs along the back, which you can see by the artwork, but it's very hard to see, again, if you're on the other side of the table, and I don't really know what I'd use to represent spider webs. I'll just have to tell that to them. Now, all the doors have been easy to open. I'm going to say, since the spider I'm going to change this room. The spider just ate the goblin, so she's got lots of energy. And I'm going to say she webbed up the door, so it'll be hard to open. Since if they go this way and get beat up by the reef claw, I'll say she didn't replace the webs that would be in this corner, and these webs would have been destroyed by the goblin, so they'll have a little bit of a advantage if they go the long way. So they'll open the door, and then I'm just going to have them confronted with spider webs right away. And of course everything's pitch black. unless they still have the trap going on and off, and they're safe along the wall, and every like 5 seconds it'll go with the fire, so it'd be flashing bright light through the dungeon. This room, this trap, is basically an alarm. Now, so it'll alert the goblins. The skeletons are alerted because they're guardians of a crypt up there, and the reef claw swims in the water, and the spider is eating, so they don't really care. And the spider has defended himself there, herself. Alright. So, they'll be faced with the webs right away, and they'll have to hold a torch in one hand to burn the webs. And I want to have... So, yeah, we'll have to get the warrior with the high strength to push open the door. And then there's nothing but webs. So he pulls out his torch and burns them. Burns away. And that'll alert the spider. So, and I want the spider on the ceiling. So I probably won't even have the spider on the board. They say that would alert the spider right there. So I think I would I'll roll a stealth check. The spider has a huge bonus to stealth. I'll have them roll their perceptions in the open. And as soon as they succeed on a perception roll, I'll start combat and just say, whoever succeeds on the perception roll, the spider drops right on top of you. So I don't know how to handle that on the battle map, though. If they're like walking around in here, and let's say that the rogue would make a perception check, possibly. So I just go, here it is. I guess I could put the spider next to the rogue. And one thing about the webs is if they walk on a web, they're like slowed and they gotta struggle through them. So if I'm gonna drop the spider in an area that's covered in webs. So one person might be able to fight the spider without walking in a web, but I'm going to make sure that everyone else would have to walk in a web. Make it hard on the rogue and the warrior who dominate the combat. So if the rogue did the perception, maybe she could run away, and the wizard could do a fire blast, damaging the spider and melting the webs away. So, yes, I'm going to have them fight the spider in a way that if the wizard or cleric thinks of something, it'll work for them, and the warrior and the rogue will be penalized if they engage in close combat. And then the new addition with this monster is poison, which really isn't much to worry about. They are sickened for 10 rounds and it'll wear off without a antidote. So, yes. And then I'm going to say the webs go back pretty far beyond the map. And they'll have to roll a perception check to find a cocoon of a still fleshy goblin whose blood has been drained out of him. In which case they'll find the ring of Malachor and the other items that he has on him in the book. What were they? Oh, I'll have to make note cards. Wooden dragon toy. No, we're not doing that. A wooden dragon toy worth 50 gold pieces. Cool. How stupid. Oh, it could be really nicely carved. I have an incense holder of a dragon. A wand of magic missile. Whoa! 14 gold. Wow, magic missile wand. They'll be happy with that. Alright. Now we'll have the adventurers explore the strange obelisk and the pool with the sea creature in it.